Bayanihan. Can you chill? A House panel has approved a substitute bill seeking to extend the validity of funds under the Bayanihan 2. The Health Department logged 8,700 new COVID-19 cases today, the highest since May 1. The DOH office in Cebu says they were surprised by Malacanang's move to divert Mactan-bound flights to Manila. The regional office maintains that their COVID-19 protocols for inbound travelers have been effective. The MVP group of companies is hinting at possible local vaccine production endeavors very soon. And let's take a first look at the newly opened BTS pop-up store in Manila. Focused and fearless. Here's a roundup of stories we're watching now. I'm Sean Yao. A House panel has approved a substitute bill extending the validity of the Bayanihan 2 funds until the end of the year. Marian Enriquez joins us live from Manila for more details. Hi, Maan. What were the key points from today's hearing?
Yes, Sean, the House Committee on Appropriations discussed 2 bills seeking to extend the validity and disbursement of funds under the Bayanihan 2. Representatives Eric Yap, Paulo Duterte, and El Rey Villafuerte are pushing to extend yet again the validity of the Bayanihan 2 provisions until end of December this year. This aims to allow government agencies to continue its programs for COVID-19 response and ensure that no remaining funds will be reverted to the Treasury by the end of the year. If passed into law, this will be the second extension of the law's validity. The 165 billion peso Bayanihan 2 was supposed to expire on December 19, 2020, but was extended to June 30 this year. Recall that the Budget Department earlier flagged that around 30% of the funds have not yet been disbursed. As of April 15, 2021, the DBM said that the cumulative obligation rate is at 51%, while the disbursement rate is at 70%. DBM Assistant Secretary Kim De Leon said that the distribution of funds is now up to the implementing agencies, as all the funds have been downloaded. On the other hand, De Leon noted that there are some agencies that have nearly fully disbursed their funds. Among these are the DILG and the Departments of Agriculture and Transportation. But the problem now is that the undisbursed funds obligated by June 30, 2021 will have to be reverted to the Treasury. For its part, the agencies present during the hearing vowed to complete all disbursement of funds by the end of the year. The substitute bill will then be tackled in the plenary. It is unlikely that the bill will be passed on third and final reading next week, as there are only 3 session days left before the Sine-DA adjournment. Sean, we will have to see if President Rodrigo Duterte will call for a special session and certify its passage as urgent. Sean?
Thank you for that update. Stay safe and dry out there in Manila. That was Maan Enriquez with the report. And the Health Department has reported more than 8,700 new COVID-19 cases on Friday. That is the highest since the 1st of May. And this has brought the country's total caseload to 1,134,000, some 53,770 of which are still active. 187 deaths were confirmed today, while 3,000 more recoveries were logged in the last 24 hours. The World Health Organization flags that the global COVID-19 tally so far this 2021 has already surpassed the total caseload of 2020. The organization once again urged richer countries to donate COVID-19 vaccines to poorer nations through the COVAX facility.
The ongoing vaccine crisis is a scandalous inequity that's perpetuating the pandemic. More than 75% of all vaccines have been administered in just 10 countries. So today, I'm calling on member states to support a massive push to vaccinate at least 10% of the population of every country by September, and a drive to December to achieve our goal of vaccinating at least 30% by the end of the year. This is crucial to stop severe disease and death.
And a number of outbound passengers are now stranded at the NAIA after the government suspended deployment to Saudi Arabia. Returning Filipinos bound for Cebu, meanwhile, will have to stay in Manila for quarantine. Gerard de la Peña with the report.
Mactan-bound flights of returning overseas Filipinos will be diverted to Manila. Malacanang said the local government of Cebu is now running out of quarantine hotel rooms.
Nagsara na ng 2 araw yung Cebu International Airport dahil wala nga po silang mga hotels na paglalagyan ng mga dumarating na OFWs at mga overseas Filipinos. No? Habang inaayos lang po yan ay i-reroute muna mga flights.
But the Health Department's office in Region 7 believes it's because of something else.
Primarily, I think emanated from the fact that we were conducting a test upon arrival instead of the day 7, which was actually as mandated by the IATF.
The DOH regional office defended Cebu's testing policy among returning OFWs.
There was just some kind of a variation without really compromising, the capacity to be able to detect the virus.
The Manila International Airport Authority said they are ready to accept additional 300 passengers a day.
Based on the report given to us and the schedules given to us by Mactan, roughly there are about 3 flights a day with a maximum capacity of 300 passengers daily. So it's not really that many to handle.
The move to divert flights from Cebu to Manila will start on May 29 and will last until June 5. An inventory of available beds has yet to be made next week. Meanwhile, more than 300 passengers bound for Saudi Arabia were unable to depart at the NAIA Terminal 1. They had already checked in when airport authorities told them that the deployment has been halted. This came after the Saudi government mandated arriving passengers to go on quarantine at their own expense. But there are exemptions, such as those who have already received at least 1 dose of COVID-19 vaccines. Jessa, a staff nurse in Riyadh, said the offloading entailed a lot of hassles, even if she's already good to go.
Sa totoo man po, nakakaduro po ng puso. Yes po.
Emotional ka na.
Yes po. Kasi ang sakit mo, yung pag-alis mo nga sa bahay, yung iwanan mo yung family mo for work, masakit na. Tapos, eto abutan mo, stress pa. Diba? Parang, ang hirap na po mag-explain kung ano yung mafe-feel mo. Mixed emotions na po eh.
Labor officials said it's still uncertain as to when the deployment will resume as they continue their talks.
Medyo mahal po yung quarantine. 7 days po tayo sa hotel. There must be a specific guidelines stating that the employer must be the one tasked to pay for the cost of this expenses for quarantine.
The Philippine Airlines said they weren't immediately notified of the policy, so they allowed them to check in. But they still let the flights to leave empty to ferry Filipinos from Saudi Arabia who wish to go back to the Philippines. For News 5, Gerard de la Peña, we are One News.
We're gonna pause for a quick break, but we will be back with more stories after that. Keep it here. back on One News now. I'm Sean Yao. The MVP group of companies has hinted at possibly going into the local vaccine production. Speaking at Metro Pacific's annual shareholders meeting, Chairman Manny V. Pangilinan implied that they might work with vaccine brands that Filipinos prefer. Pangilinan added that the efforts might not be limited to just COVID-19 shots.
But the virus will not disappear. If you're at it anyway, you might as well manufacture vaccines that are applicable to influenza, to polio, to measles, chickenpox, smallpox. You might as well get into it, the full spectrum of vaccines that the Filipino people need.
Moving on now to other stories we're keeping our eyes on. The Manila Police District Special Mayor's reaction team says that the female driver who assaulted a traffic enforcer in Malate yesterday is believed to be a drug courier. The MPD Smart said that the driver's accomplices were arrested in an operation near a school in Ermita this afternoon. And the PNP Highway Patrol Group says about half of 30 million motorcycle owners in the country have expired registrations. Authorities also flagged that many of them do not have driver's licenses. Several motorcycle clubs have vowed to coordinate with the HPG to help address this. And some 700 athletes, coaches, and delegates, as well as officials that are bound for the Tokyo Olympics and SEA Games, have received their first doses of COVID-19 vaccines. The Philippine Olympic Committee hopes that all national athletes will be fully vaccinated as well to be able to begin training for their respective international competitions. All right, listen up, Army. The first ever BTS pop-up store inspired by their hit 2020 album is set to open tomorrow at the SM Megamall. Laila Pangilinan is over there to give us a first glimpse. Laila, what do you have for us?
Sean, armies will truly be over the moon and will go gaga over the first ever BTS pop-up store in the Philippines located here at the SM Megamall. The store is inspired by the international pop sensation's fourth album, Map of the Soul, which was released last February 2020. Aside from over 400 items, there are also social media-friendly spaces or photo zones for your Instagram needs and other social media needs. Items range from keychains, umbrellas, jackets, shirts, caps, stationaries, and pen, even blankets to pouches, and even floor rugs. To ensure health protocols are being observed, no walk-ins are allowed, and buyers would have to register online via the Morning Call website. 30 people at a time will be allowed to enter and will only be given 30 minutes to shop. Sean, if you look over here, come. So this is a nice photo wall where you can take pictures, you can be an angel over here, and we have certified armies over here. How was your shopping experience, guys?
Magnificent. I feel like this is the closest we can get to BTS. Words can't even describe how we feel right now.
So even during the pandemic,
We're so happy because we feel safe and we get to shop.
all right, thank you so much, armies, and that's the latest here. Sean, back to you.
All right, I guess I'm gonna text you by pabili. Thank you for that update and stay safe there in SM Megamall. Laila Pangilinan. For more updates, visit News 5, The Philippine Star, and Business World online. Visit our website, onenews.ph, for more in-depth analysis. You can also catch One News on the Signal Play app. Register for a free account at www.signalplay.com and stream One News live anytime, anywhere. Mask on, wash hands, and stay safe, Philippines. I'm Sean Yao. We are One News.